Graeme Souness, oh, you've riled him up with this one. Welcome back to Fog Football, and he got grilled over his Celtic captain slapped down comment as the Rangers icon. He was taken to task live on air, and his reasoning behind referring to Mcgregor as the Celtic captain may surprise you. Hell, it might not. But of course, he's been on Talksport. He loves a bit of Talksport, doesn't he? At the end of the day, now Mcgregor, he was at fault, right? For a couple of those wee goals against Germany. We can't deny it. It wasn't just Souness, it was Roy Keane going through him. But he did label him as the Celtic captain. However, he's actually provided an innocent explanation. Alright? And this is what he says. I can answer that. I couldn't remember his name. I knew he was the captain of Celtic. I was critical of him because if you remember the build up to that goal, he tried to nick it off Ilkay Gundogan and Gundogan turned him. He should have just had goal side trying to get a challenge in, but he stepped in front and nicked it. Further on the same attack which led to the goal, he tried to nick it off Musiala again. So twice he's tried to nick it instead of being strong in the challenge, and that would have prevented us conceding that goal. I have to say, that question can only arise in the west of Scotland. I forgot his name. I couldn't remember his name. But I knew he was a good little footballer, and it's been taken as a slant or criticism. I didn't mean it. I genuinely forgot his name. End of quote. Right. So, I mean, I don't think Souness meant it. And, because, there's times when, I mean, man of fids I do, right? And, I'm sure when you're talking with your mates or whatever, you sometimes just have like a brain fart moment and you forget. You're like, oh, sometimes I even forget how to even pronounce simple fucking words. Like, what's that word? Like, and I'll be like, oh, fuck, to do something as simple as that. So, again, I don't think there was that much malice for Graeme Souness. What I would say is, if this was like a Gary Neville or Ian Wright that said this, it would be like, oh, look at the snobbery of this guy. He's not even, he's not even good enough to even call McGregor by his actual name. Sort of talk would be getting fired out here. So, I think it's an easy mistake. If it was, Chris Sutton talking about Romania, and he'd be like, oh, that Rangers player or something. I mean, I'm sure Rangers fans would take it thick. I kind of do agree with Souness where he says it's like a West of Scotland thing. Yeah, I mean, it kind of is, I mean, he did go on to say, that's what he said. Gundogan again, great turn. He slips. Havertz then back to himself. Wrong foot's the Celtic captain yet again. That's two in the same move. He tries to nick it here. Callum McGregor gets back. He tries to nick it. Just stay goal side and stop the effort on your goal. So that's what he said. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Souness meant any harm by this? Or do you think it was just he simply forgot? We've got to believe what Souness said at the end of the day. I think we'll believe what Souness said. Souness, by the way, predicting England to win the tournament. He's getting a lot of hate for that, but if that's what he genuinely believes, then why can't he predict that? I don't think England will win. I think England are shite. Now, he did predict it before the tournament even begun, right? But, the more I look at England, and, I say the more you look, you only seen one game. That game last night between England and Serbia was the lowest amount of shots in a Euros game since 1980. I mean, we're talking 44 years ago, man. That's an insane amount of time before we, you see those sort of stats get fired up. And we said last night, I said it was probably the worst game that I'd seen, because the only other game that I hadn't seen was the Denmark-Slovenia game. Or Slovenia? No, Slovenia. Definitely Slovenia. And the only other game I'm not seeing right now is somehow Slovakia is beating Belgium.